day, good day, good day. I'm sure many of you have listened to the news and how chaotic the White House is already. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I wanted to first start off with a few jokes. And I just want to be lighthearted, just start that way for today. Who was the most famous witch detective? Can you guess? Warlock Holmes. Why do witches stay in five-star hotels? Can you guess? Because of the excellent room service. What do witches put on their bagels? Scream cheese! Well, I'm having a lot of fun. And when I was looking at my social media today, I thought people were playing around with the story, but they weren't. So when I got home, I said, let me look this up because I have too many people who are either sending me this story or it's on X, and I just don't believe this cannot be true. So I looked it up. It's true. And congratulations to former Councilwoman Kelli Dunaway. Okay, so here it is. For Kelli Dunaway, life after elected office is nothing short of magical. Choosing not to run for re-election after serving 5 years on the St. Louis County Council, Dunaway now operates a website called Legal Witchcraft. And according to the company's motto on its website, our purpose is to help you reclaim your power. Right on. I'm all about it, about it. In describing her transition into the witchcraft business, Dunaway, a lawyer, says on her site, I am powerful, wise, and a little bit wild. I never saw that part. But I'm not going to read the whole story that's in the Post-Dispatch written by Joe Holleman, who had two great stories today. This one was on the lighthearted side. But I will say that please, 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 Councilwoman Dunaway, please use that witchcraft to clean up the radioactive waste in the Bridgeton landfill, West County, because there's some that's in the 7th district. There's some that's in the 2nd district, as you know, in the 1st district, in the 4th district. Please use these powers to clean up the radioactive waste. And so many people will thank you. So many families will thank you. But good luck to you, and I hope that you do well and prosper. In other news, the story that is quite amazing. Loved it. Like, it reminded me, if you guys don't know this, I love all Hannibal stories. Hannibal Lecter. I just love them. I can watch the series. I wish there was like 5 more seasons of the TV series of it. Red Dragon, all the rest of them. So I just love the character so much. And so, in any case, when I opened up my email this morning to just read the paper like I do every morning, early morning, before I get started, and have my coffee and feed all the little heartbeats of my life, I read the paper and I read other stuff. So, in any case, there is a story that it came from Joe Holleman. And I'm really not trying to focus so much on the Post-Dispatch. It seems like I am right now. It's just like, when there's a good story, there's a good story. And this one was literally one of my favorites. So let's get to it. Here it is. Holleman. Embattled Sam Page turning to spin doctors for help. And I love the article. I mean, and it just reminded me, Buffalo Bill, he has this phrase. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. And when I read this article, all I was thinking about is that moment Buffalo Bill was saying this. It was in the first movie about Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. And I mean, and that's, when I was doing my thing on the Senate floor, I would always have that quote. I would always cite that quote from Buffalo Bill when I did a lot of research. I would quote Buffalo Bill. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. And in this article by Holleman in the Post Dispatch, I mean, he starts talking about this media firm. He's trying to get a media firm. This is like the second media firm. I do remember Fenton, and I just recently deleted all of those records. I think Cindy Winkler is the one who did the Sunshine Request for that years ago, and I thought that I didn't need them anymore, so I deleted them. So shame on me for that. But then, in a recent bid to get his choice for St. Louis County prosecuting attorney into office, Page got skunked in the state circuit courts and had to watch as the Missouri governor appointed the new top prosecutor. He also talks about the 6-1. Let's see. Let's read the sentence. And now he faces a county council that tilts 6-1 in opposition to him, right? So Sam has been making all of these really weird moves. I've been studying them, So why is he trying to I keep asking the question, why is Sam Page trying to orchestrate who is going to be the next prosecuting attorney? What was that power move? Like after Judge May said, nah, the governor has that position. And then after the appeals court said, nah, the governor has that authority. And then after the Supreme Court was like, no, we're not going to even hear it. He went all the way up to the Missouri Supreme Court. Who does that? What are you trying to hide? That's what I want to know. Now, when we were doing after the uprising, there's a lot of research that we had to do, a lot of it, which is why I feel so comfortable about talking about Wesley Bell. You have to listen to the podcast after the uprising to even know what the baseline is of why Wesley Bell is such a despicable person. But Sam Page, even after this podcast comes out, Sam Page is still like quarterbacking Wesley Bell. Why is this? So, Sam gets mad because Dennis Hancock finds out, compliments of a friend of mine, Hancock finds out that Sam is working at SLU Hospital. So he mentions it at the council meeting. I can almost tell you the day. He mentions it at the council meeting, and Sam is going crazy about it. And that Hancock becomes like the target of Sam Page. Sam, let me tell you right now, it was Democrats. It's Democrats that called you out, baby. It's Democrats that did that to you. And they just told Dennis Hancock. Okay? They just told Dennis Hancock. But it was Democrats who have been keeping up with you at the hospital. So I just want you to know that you should leave Dennis Hancock alone. You just don't like him because he's like Fitch, asking questions and staying independent. I don't agree with Republicans much, but when it comes to the county council, it should not be Democrat versus Republican. It should be about services and helping the most vulnerable people. There should be no politics that's included when it comes to the county council. There should be no politics when it comes to the county business. If you want to help senior citizens, you help senior citizens. If you want to help people who have food deserts, you help people who have food deserts. But you don't get contracts for your buddies. And you don't get to have like an unlimited amount of taxpayer money that you use for your own benefit, including this firm. So let's go on. In a letter sent on an unknown date to an unknown number, more unknowns later. I love when he says that. It's just so precise. Of public records communication firms, Page's office is asking for price quotes from companies to develop and implement a proactive, comprehensive strategic communications plan aimed at advancing the goals of the office, engaging the community, and highlighting departmental and initiative based achievements. In other, fewer words, help the county executive's office to toot its own horn. The gist of this request seems to suggest that the problems may not be in the office's performance, but in the perception of that performance. The question of why Page's office needs more communication specialists is interesting, given that there is a contingent of communicators already on his payroll. Incidentally, a few of them come from the Post-Dispatch. There are three of them. I forgot the third one's name, but there's Christopher Ave, who is with the Post. Then you have Doug Moore, who was with the Post. And then there's another one. I forgot his name, but he's real tall. And then you also have, let's not forget Chris King. We don't know how much Chris King is worth. I mean, knowing how close Sam and Wesley are, I mean, they're real close. Perhaps Chris King is doing something. I don't know, but these are all communications people who are on the county's payroll. County records for 2024 show that Page's office paid about $400,000 to 5 people whose job titles included the word communications. And that's not counting the various communications people who work in their own departments and other departments that fall under the county executive's sway, such as public health and streets. But apparently, Page's office needs outside communicators who would develop a two-year plan. So let's just stop right there. A 2-year plan. What happens in 2 years? Sam Page runs for re-election to focus on community engagement and effective dissemination of county achievements. Now, that office has been disseminating a lot of stuff, like, telling people about a pending settlement for Susan Peterson. Now, Sam Page says that he doesn't know anything about it. The legal department says they don't know anything about it. But how many times has this happened? Let's see. Fitch. Let's see. There's an article in the paper. Fitch didn't even know that the newspaper knew about his settlement. And Susan Peterson, I'm sure she was caught off guard when she found out the paper knew about it. That's a whole nother story, though, for another day, to be continued. We will reconvene on that issue at a later time. The company would be charged with developing strategies to support Page's objectives, attend weekly strategy meetings, and craft clear, impactful messaging aligned with the office's priority. Now, that sounds a lot like campaigning for public office. So you got 6 people against you, right? And I don't think it's bad to have 6 people against you. It just means that you're not doing well at all, and trying to work with people. That's all that tells me. I understand a division based on party lines or based on philosophies, but 6 people is a lot of people who don't like you. So maybe he sees that, and that's why he has to have, a campaign, a taxpayer-funded campaign strategist. That's what he's trying to do. A taxpayer-funded campaign strategist to show up to strategy meetings, craft clear, impactful messaging aligned with the office's priorities. It also wants the company to offer ongoing strategic advice to navigate political considerations and optimize decision making, strategies, achievements, messaging. If this all sounds a bit like campaigning, something Page will need to do if he seeks re-election in 2026, it will not be the first time such suspicions have surfaced in county government. In August 2021, Page's office spent almost $2 million with a New York-based public relations firm to provide COVID-19 awareness. The money was reimbursed through federal relief funds. What's happened since then? There was an election. Sounds kind of suspicious. But some county council members allege that the project was meant more to enhance Page's profile than to actually improve public health. Noting that the 2021 proposal included plans to elevate county leadership and further amplify messaging from Page. Then Councilman Tim Fitch blasted the plan, saying it seemed like a campaign move. It looks like, to me, like he's using tax dollars to basically run a political campaign for his own benefit, Fitch said at the time. But let's, at least for now, stipulate that Page's office has done a lot of cool stuff, and that the real problem is that no one knows about it. It seems like they've been quite effective in reaching the press when it comes to settlements. Which brings us to the unknowns earlier in this dispatch. I like that. I like how he wrote that. On Thursday, this bureau, I love it. This bureau, I mean, it's almost like Bridgerton. That's the other thing. This part reminded me of Bridgerton, like the writer. Oh, I love her. On Thursday, this bureau asked for information about the request for public relations help because it did not seem to be entered into the county's online database of requests for bids, proposals, services, etc. This bureau sent an email asking for a few facts. When were these requests mailed? What companies were solicited? When is the deadline for applying? And how much money was earmarked for the endeavor? And does it go through the St. Louis County Council? That's the other question. Making matters simpler, so we thought, was the fact that the employee in Page's office who is supposed to receive the replies, Kyle Klemp, very smart guy, very, very, very smart guy, but he's told what to do. Deputy Director of Operations, that was a move, also happens to be the office's custodian of records. But instead of replying with an email or picking up the phone, the bureau's hotline number was included. The bureau's hotline number was included. Did you hear that? Klemp entered the information request into the county sunshine law system, claiming it was a request for records. That system then sent out an email informing this bureau that an answer would be delivered in 6 days on January 22nd. Klemp explained he was simply following the office's process used for all requests for records. So another email was sent to Klemp saying that this matter could be handled in one phone call or email from Klemp, who again appears to be the point person on this plan and most likely has the facts right there on his own computer. Alas, the wheels of government transparency grind slowly, and Klemp did not reply. So soon, the sunshine machine will crank out a response, and this bureau will share information later that could have been available sooner. Come to think of it, this notion of a revved up communications plan might work. Already, it's generating more news stories. If that's not Hannibal Lecter, I don't know what is. I mean, let me tell you, Holleman had Bridgerton elements in this, Hannibal Lecter components of this, really Buffalo Bill. But I mean, my goodness, I want to read more. What's to come tomorrow? Tomorrow's the 22nd. I haven't even looked at what's supposed to be happening in the county council. I'll get my phone call later. But in any case, I just thought that was interesting. And that's all for now, but I just wanted to have fun with that. So have a beautiful day.